Hello and good morning everyone, and welcome to my Floramancer world. I'm gonna do some Botania things today, as we always do. I wanted to come in here. The Spectralus is now automated. We've waited a long time for this particular flower to get automated. But it's been extremely helpful, you know, manually placing a flower and getting large amounts of mana. But it's now fully automated. We go back here. I have a Corporea funnel on an open crate with a random carpus, placing the flowers every hour. That's what this does. And this we already set up a long time ago. This automatically shuts it off if any of the wool falls below a certain level. So if any of these fall below a certain level, this whole line lights up and it can't send any more pulses to send wool. So we have it so that it's, what is it? Resource proof. I have also gone up and bred the sheep a few more times, so there's a couple more sheep in each pen. We do need to keep an eye on the ones that we're using in crafting. So we're using red wool for the winter rune. We're using black wool to make carpet. And black is over here, I think. Nope, black is here. And we're using white to make string. So let's see how we're doing. Where is the white? There. So we have to keep probably a few more sheep for those particular pens right now. But yeah, it's running. It makes me feel happy because we're going to be getting a decent amount of mana. And speaking of mana, let's look at our advancements real quick. So we are very close, 13 mana pools away from getting the Thermalily trophy. We are, we're 44 out of 200 for the Gormarillis. That's good to see. And the Spectralist that we just automated, I've gotten 4 mana pools in the hour that I've had it running this morning so far. So up to 51 out of 100 there. The Rafflesia is doing good, 11 out of 100. That's the one we've recently automated. And so we've got the Rosa Arcana. It's still at 4 to 50 because the only thing that it's picking up is XP orbs from the cow farm. So that will change in the future, but that is what I have right now for generating flora. We do have supplies now that we have a winter rune to do one other one, I think. Let's find out. Oops, nope, I don't need you on. Maybe this was just for the Spectralus. You know about the Dandelion for later. Yep, it's just the Spectralus. So what can we use the winter rune to make? Gluttony and Wrath and Envy. So we have some Sins runes that we can work towards crafting. I'm going to hold off on those for now, and the reason I'm going to do that is because each one of these runes requires 2 diamonds, and I haven't gone mining in a long time. So, and we don't have a way of getting diamonds right now because our orchid is turned off. It uses a ton of mana, and we're not bringing in enough to really keep these filled. And I would like to, you know, do that. That's one of the reasons the Spectralus is now automated. And we've got the Rafflesia running. That makes a decent amount. Our next flower that we're going to make should make a decent amount as well. We're going to set that up to be manual for now until we can craft it. So yes, if you watched yesterday's stream, you know I spent over an hour fighting with why the winter rune was not crafting, why the Wand of the Forest wasn't being triggered, and I spent a good half an hour yesterday trying to figure it out. It was a silly little thing, as they tend to be. The one thing that was different, that has been fixed now, but the one thing that was different was the item in this frame was rotated, and so instead of sending a signal saying I want one Wand of the Forest, it was sending a signal saying I want multiple. It wasn't matching. I want multiples or something. So this wasn't matching the one underneath the runic altar. All I had to do was break the item frame, replace it, and replace the wand, and miraculously it fixed the whole thing. So, yay! We've got winter runes being automatically crafted now. So with that, I then went and set up the Spectralist flower to automatically craft. So that is in our crafting circle here. So there, we've got the Spectralist flower, and it automatically crafts. One thing that I was really nervous about back here is that there are nine of these, and if you know, the red stream container can only go 8 blocks. So I was trying to figure out for a while how to get 9 items from its request into Petal Apothecary, and then I had another facepalm moment. We had it going into a dropper so that it would fit the amount of items, since the hopper doesn't hold that many, to just put the funnel on top of the dropper, because it's an inventory too. So yeah, there we go. It's all set up and it holds 17. So we're all set there. This is technically 17 hours of flour, since we're only using one at a time. So we won't need a whole lot of these made throughout the course of our playthrough, unlike the Thermal Lily and Hydrangea, which are getting made pretty regularly. These not so much. Gormaryllis are made around the same amount of time too. I have 6 running of those, 12 of those, and 12 of those. So yeah, you can figure out how frequently they're running. This guy should run again here pretty soon. I think I only have them on like 20 or 30 second timers. Maybe I have to wait till it gets under 16. Like when it gets pulled again, it'll get crafted. But yeah, we're all good there. We have one more flower we can make before I need to get the mana over to this pool and that pool, so that we can extend that out. But I'm feeling really good about this. We've got 7 generating flowers automated completely. Don't even have to touch them for anything. So that is good. And we've got... how many runes do we have there? Let's count. 1, 2... oh, I need to put grass there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 out of 16 runes, and we can do 3 more of these Sins runes now that we've made winter. We're just gotta have diamonds first before I will set those up. We also need to do Rune of Gluttony. We need to do Sunny Quartz. Rune of Wrath, we need to do Red Quartz, and for Envy we already have Elven Quartz being crafted, so we could set this one up if I had the diamonds. So yeah, Sunny Quartz will be an interesting one. Sunny Quartz requires sunflowers, and so we're going to need bone meal so that we can bone meal sunflowers to get those, technically vanilla duping. So we've got to do that. Hello. Yeah. Now we see the slimes, I'm going to show you also, because it just gave me a thought. Come on. Enjoy the ads, 4 ounce. Okay. So, down here, if you remember... we had found a slime chunk. I have been digging it out in between streams. I'm not all the way done. I'm only to the lava level. I have to remove the lava. And if you remember correctly, we can't clear out that side. Hey, Bacon! We can't clear out that side because of all of this stuff here. So we're gonna need to lure the slimes this way. And I've thought of a couple ways to do that. We might just do the iron golems method, stick them in the wall over here. So the slimes will see the iron golems and want to go towards them. We could even have some in these walls as well. And yeah, then do a traditional just water stream down to a corner or something. Where we'll have the Narslimus there to consume the slime and get mana from. Right here in this corner happens to be the hallway for our farm area here. So we actually might just extend the hallway to go this way and have it connect to the slime farm so we have access to doing the stuff with the slime. So we can set up the automation and probably connect it somewhere to the mana input line, which is quite a distance from here. So that would be interesting. The mana input line, ooh, that's the output line. It's up a ways, it's up quite a distance, so it's going to be a challenge to get mana from the slimes up into the battery. Yeah. Wonder we could do a different method of getting the mana to the battery, because that just seems like a long distance. Okay, so the input. Okay, so we're there is where we need to get to. The closest input line is right here. So we would need, I guess if we went to this corner, it doesn't access anything, but if we went into this corner, I could move this this direction. Getting it all the way down there is going to be a hard thing. Okay, so the alternate method I was thinking, we could either do rails like we did for the cow farm, or we could do mana tablets, because they don't despawn. These things don't despawn. They set them on top of a mana pool and they'll sit there forever. Have it so that a Hopper Hawk only picks up full ones. It dispenses empty ones. And so the mana tablets just go into the Corporea network. And what we could do then is have a mana pool up at our battery area with the Corporea network, taking the full ones and dropping them on top of the mana pool and picking up the empty ones, that sort of deal. How are we doing on melons now that I'm using it for... We're doing good. So we might do that. But yeah, I need to remove the lava, which I have an extrapolated bucket, so I'll just go through and remove the lava. Oh, there's a slime. Did you see the green? There's one slime. So yeah. Let's check on our wheat farm. This is glitchy ass wheat farm. Oh boy. So glitchy. But it's producing wheat in a haphazard pattern. Yeah, we're doing all right. We've got 4 stacks of seeds, so woo, it's not just the bottom layer anymore, 4 ounce. It's this layer now too. So it works better when all of the dispensers have seeds in them, but because we're using seeds, I'm just whatever. It's whatever. The first few times that we noticed this problem, though, was because we didn't have enough seeds to plant everything here. It was running out of seeds. We had whole rows that were just blank because it didn't have enough seeds. Maybe it's genetic. Cute. Yeah. And I think we're still growing the amount of potatoes. Yep, 601 stacks. So last time I looked, we were at 587. So we're going up in amount of potatoes that we have without me making more stacks of the farm. We will want to get working on progressing towards the colossal potato. Again, I want to have mana. I want to have a decent amount of mana, and right now we were holding pretty steady at mana neutral. I want to be mana positive. So we're getting there. We're getting there. This stuff is staying in here, so yeah. Portuguese payment. Yeah, Portuguese payment is beautiful. Most of the... I don't like the yellow one. Portuguese. I don't like the yellow one. But I love the white and the black and the blue and the red and the green. I don't like the yellow. I have not found any excuse to use the yellow. So yes, okay. Looking at my plans for the day. Plans for the day, we need to go check that villager breeder because it is probably overpopulated, our little breeder thing. Can you show me your melons? My melons are a vanilla farm. I did not use Botania for it, but sure, I can show you. Alright, so I used observers, and this is the front, so obviously you can't like tell what it's doing here. We'll go back here. So we have it so that the observer detects the block that gets placed here and pulls on that observer to pull it down into the repeater, which triggers the piston to break the block. And it's tileable, so I've got them all exactly the same. These need to be on one tick. They can't be on anything else or it doesn't work. So yeah, observer pointing into the sticky piston. Sticky piston pulls the observer that's pointed that direction down into the repeater real fast and then puts it back up there, which triggers the other piston. And I just have it stacked again for pumpkins. Can you turn it off? I don't think so. No, I don't think I can. Yeah, probably not. What I did have was this chest was a lot smaller, so when the melons filled up, I just had melons despawning up here. Because this isn't a gigantic farm, that's really not a lot of items in the world, so I wasn't worried about it. Yeah. I've never built farms that were so large that you make way more resources than you need. I understand the interest in that, but because I've looked at it, I'm like, makes 5,000 melons an hour. I'm like, what in the world are you gonna need 5,000 melons an hour for? I'm like, it's cool that you can do it. I have no interest in doing it. So yeah. So there you go, my melon farm. Let's check on our mushrooms because I haven't had to do... Oh, we're starting to get lower. We're still at 4 stacks. When it goes below 4 stacks, I'll do a mushroom. And I am going to eventually change this over so that it uses a force relay instead of all of these. But again, I've not had to use it in a long time. So, nah. Until I need to use it again, it'll just sit there. And we're doing fine with all these. I think we're probably pretty full. I've had to upgrade the stack limit just to pick up more carrots. So we're still gaining on these things. The only one we're using right now are the netherwort. So these things we're stacking up in order to do the dandelion, which I'm really nervous about learning how to do. But we have 2 more runes to do, and then we should be able to actually do this one. Hello, Comet Lore! Yeah, we need to do spring and we need to do autumn. But yeah, and we need to do ender air bottles. We need to automate that. So those are the things. Yeah, we're working towards so many different things. I'm really nervous about learning how to do the dandelion. I will likely go back and rewatch some things on YouTube, some tutorials of people using and setting up the dandelion. I really liked how the gym set up his setup of the dandelion, but I also know there have been changes to the game of life that it's applied to, in reference to, there's been changes to the flower that it might not work the same way he has it set up in the 1.7 that he was using it when it was brand new. So there's all sorts of interesting things to figure out for that. But let's head over to the villagers. I'm probably going to have to kill quite a few of them again. Because I have not set up the... turning it off. I haven't turned it off. I need to. I haven't. Whoa, flying so fast that I go too fast. Alright. How are we doing? Oh, good. Okay. Oh, I know why it's not working. There's no farmer in there anymore. Wonder what happened to the farmer. You know what happened to the farmer? There was a farmer in there. I don't think I have a farmer in there. It looks like I have 2 nitwits and a white coat. Maybe I have a farmer in there. Oh, it looks like there might be a farmer in there that I could pull out and put back in there. Well then, this takes care of my we need to shut this off problem, because it won't run. And someday I'll take this down. Let's check on our villagers. 3. There's 3. I ran out of glass when I was doing that one. And 3. Okay, so they're all here. This we're going to be spending some time on in the near future, maybe even today, but I highly doubt it. This up here is where I'm going to do the gold farm. The overworld gold farm using ender portals, nether portals, sorry. Going to build it above the iron farm, because it won't change the way the iron farm works, and because there are villagers here, it will pull the zombie villagers off. It'll encourage the zombie villagers to walk off the portal when I put the trapdoors on it. So I believe this is also right about the size that I want to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so it'll be a little smaller, but again, it's just me playing. The maximum portal size is 23 by 23, and this one only goes to 20, so we would do that and put all the trapdoors on the inside so they walk towards the inside. But again, because there are villagers in proximity, I think it's going to detect the villagers and want to get to them because they're still zombies, and that'll help encourage them to walk into here. And they will fall down there. And I'm thinking it's a far enough drop because the lava won't kill them since they're zombies, nether zombies. I'm hoping it's a far enough drop that the drop kills them. If it doesn't, we'll put a Bellthorn. We'll put the mana flower that kills mobs down there. So that will be how we get gold nuggets, which will turn into gold ingots and everything so that we have gold. And again, the only problem we're going to have is diamonds, and there's no way. No fancy way to get diamonds. Yeah. That might be a nice way to get diamonds. There are chances of getting diamonds as loot. I completely forgot about that. Turn the orchid back on. I will once my battery has a bit more in it. Now that we have the Spectralus running and the Rafflesia running, we should be able to turn that orchid back on. Yeah. But this is also, once we have even more mana, this should be an option too, setting up the Lunium. Because I need to set up the Lunium anyway for, wrong button, for these, to get the ancient tomes, and there was something else I needed it for. And I don't remember what it is now. Loot, just loot in general, I suppose. But yeah, there's that. Let's head back down. Yeah, I know you'll get a lot of stuff from it that'll become useful. So I'm good there. It is a massive drain on mana, more so than the orchid. Again, though, I'm going to be producing a lot of mana, and I still haven't gotten around to telling you what the next flower is that we're going to be working on. Let's turn this back on. We'll turn both of them on. But I don't need to run the Lunium all of the time, so that's really where that comes from. The next flower we're going to be working on is the cake flower, the Cakeamerus. Because it needs spring and gluttony. Granted, those are things we don't have. We can do gluttony pretty soon, but we're getting cake. So what I'm going to do is manually make cake flowers, but set up the automation of placing cakes because we've got cake. So I want to work on getting the cake flower going. The Rune of Spring is not that hard to get towards. The only things we're missing is the metamorphic stone and the grass blocks. Okay, those things we can easily resolve. So everything else we don't have. We do need diamonds to do this one. Now that we have the winter rune, we can do this one. Sunny quartz, we're gonna need to do the sunflowers. We're gonna need to do the sunflowers. But this is definitely one that I want to get to very, very soon. The other one that I was considering is the Entropinium, which is here, which is another easy one to do. Wrath requires that winter rune that we have just made. The rest of this is cheap. So Wrath is the one that needs redstone. So again, we could dupe it. We can dupe redstone, can't we? No. Oh, we can convert glowstone into redstone. That's what I was thinking. Oh, yes, we can dupe it. That's an expensive dupe, though. We'll just let the orchid run. We'll just let the orchid run for that one. So there's that. We got so many things to do here. But yeah, the Rune of Spring is the next one we'll be able to accomplish, and we'll be able to tackle red quartz and smoky quartz pretty quickly. We're going to need to do the 3x3 crafting for those. And then sunny quartz, we're going to need to set up another little lab like what we have down below for the flint and clay and packed ice. We'll set up a lab to get sunflowers We need to do mob farms very soon. Skeletons, blazes, and endermen. And those are things on my list of things we need to look into getting soon. So yeah, I should perhaps set up or grab a Rosa Arcana. Thing is, if I paired it to one of we need to put the mana spreader back there. But the problem is, it really has nowhere to send mana. I'll have to think of that, because that's what this item frame is for, is to put the Rosa Arcana here when I don't have it running. But I was trying to think, if we put a mana spreader up here, this is already pretty full, and sending it to here when it's got a dominant spark isn't exactly an intelligent idea. There is a mana pool back here. If we could send it to this one, just use a, what's it called, that lets a phantom lens. Place it here, point it that way. We could probably get away with that. Okay, let's see here. Most likely won't need this powerful of one. But how do we do a phantom lens? That is with an abstruse platform. Okay, let's see what we've got for these blocks. We need 2 framed and 1 patterned. That's all we've got. So the 1 pattern framed. Okay. Pattern. The framed is just living wood planks. Okay. How many does that make? Oh, so that should be what I need. Oh, we need the mana pearl. Oops, click on the right thing. Get that. And we need a mana lens. Okay. So there's the phantom lens. Let's see. You there. You on there. And you here. And it's working. Alright. And so once this is empty, which it shouldn't take too long for it to get emptied, I'm just hoping that the pulse doesn't break the mana spreader. I don't think it will, because you can't push mana spreaders. I think it'll just go into the mana spreader. Alright, so let's grab ourselves a Rosa Arcana. Rosa Arcana. Give me. And we will place, woo! Place you there. And we need to pair you with you. 98% on your Spectralist. What are you working? What, oh, here. There we go. Sorry, my mind just went blank for a second. What do you have left to work on with that? Framed. There. Oh, 98 pools. Gotcha. Alright. Alright, for those of you who are watching, we mentioned yesterday, turn you off now, because we need to set up an auto off. Two things. If you weren't watching yesterday, the modpack creator has discovered, and I'm just going to say it again, has discovered why my water keeps disappearing. And he's going to fix it in the next patch. Yeah, so that'll get fixed and I won't have this problem anymore. But what we need to do is set up underneath here a way of turning off, you know, applying a redstone signal to these blocks so that I can turn these off without levers when the sand is full. And then, yeah, I think that's it when the sand is full. You missed it. There will be an update soonish. There was a problem with my water disappearing. Do you remember me mentioning this numerous times, that my water kept disappearing? You figured out why. The reason is this orchid petrum occasionally spawns sponge blocks. And as you can see, all of these say wet sponge. It doesn't spawn wet sponge blocks, it spawns dry sponge blocks. And because it's spawning them, it's picking up all of my water over here. So it picks up my source block, becomes a wet sponge, and then breaks the whole thing. So that would break pretty much everybody's setup. This water is too far away from where the sponge spawns, so this one never goes away. Yeah, so he's going to set it up so that the orchid petrum does not generate sponge blocks. Yep. So all that headache, and I put water here this morning when I started the pack, so it's already spawned one sponge block to get rid of my water. Yep. Are you still found? Yeah, because I haven't logged out. Let's turn you back on. I knew you'd say that for us. Like, wow. Yep, exactly. Alright, so how do I do this, guys? How do I get let's go grab our redstone box. I need a signal to go into those blocks. And it needs to go into that block. It needs to come out of this one. Can we maybe just do a... First, red string comparator. That way, because that way it's bound to that. And then the comparator out of here. But the challenge now is you have to invert the signal so that it reads as a full Oh, you know what? We learned that drawers don't work the way I want them to. We'll have to change this just a little bit. I'm remembering now if I'm trying to do the living rock or something. If you add the upgrade to this that allows it to output a redstone signal based on if it's full or not, because right now you can't read a signal from it. It's outputting a redstone signal, so it disables the hopper hawk. And you can't put a hopper hawk further away. So what I'm gonna have to do is a red string container. I need to make. I need red string in here, so we need to do that. We could do a red string container just directly on top, pointing into the drawer with the hopper rock on top of that. I could even probably tuck it behind. And then we need to add the redstone upgrade. Let's see. Yeah, anything that you use a redstone root to craft the flower with can be turned on and off with a redstone signal. Yep. So that's why that does that. So that's also Rain and Carpus do that too. You're playing it right now. Cool. Alright, so we have that and a chest and... Alright. Container. My base is a mess too, but it's an intentional mess. Did you just become a... Dang it. I don't want that. Oh, nope. I need to turn you around. You know what? I have to make a new hopper hawk, by the way, guys, but let's point at this, do that, and we'll put the hopper hawk still underneath of it right here, but it's still pointed downwards into the drawer. We'll be able to add this, do that. So now it should output a redstone signal. Does the comparator not work in this direction? Like, do I need to put it... Can I put it behind without getting wet? Maybe. Like, does it need to go here? And then do we need to do the redstone signal out the back this way? Let's grab it and find out. Trying to remember if it's sighted. Of course. This should be lit up. So maybe, does it not work at all? Did we decide it didn't work at all? See, now I'm trying to remember. It's been so long since we tried to use the drawers with the comparators. Maybe you can't use it at all. We are going to fill this in the best we can, because we don't need things spawning in there. Maybe that's it. I'm gonna have to swap that out with an iron chest. Not as pretty. Hang on. Yes, I just smacked my head. Crystal cube. Why in the world am I trying to do that when I can just stick a crystal cube down here? I'm gonna need to make some more corporeous works, and I need to do a new hopper hawk. Are you a petite? You are. Because that's too easy. Maybe. Maybe that's it. Let's tuck this petite one in here because that's not what I want anymore. We'll need another redstone root. Let's make a new, we need seeds. And then we also need you. Water. Alright, floaties. Okay. We need to make a crystal cube, which is going to require alpha glass and dream wood. With a comparator. The book a comparator. So we've got, oops, let's put it on, and then let's grab a piece of sand. Oh, how do you check count? I think you could also do full sentences and be like, this one's closer. How many sand? No. So if you do count sand, it says I have 2,047. Hello, nice to see you. I need to fix why they're spawning up there. Yes, I do. But we're doing this first. Alright, so we've got that set up. We need... Oh, you were putting chat as a chat command? Yeah. Let's see if I can get that placed the way I want to. Woo! Alright, so the problem now is that I don't want to invert that, do I? Because I want that to be lit up. I need I need there to be a block here with a torch on top so that it keeps that lit. Until there's no more signal. How do we turn you off? If we go down, see, then I could put that with another torch. Trying to think of a ladder. That turns it off. Put a torch on the side of a block under it. So if I did that there, and so I need to get redstone in here. Does that do it? It's off until it gets to only having 2 sand. So we do need to adjust that level. But that is what I want. I want it to be off currently because we have far too much. But this is only 1, 2 sand before it. And I definitely don't want that. So this guy needs to go a certain distance. Look, we're redstoners now. Yeah, so not. We'll go this way. We're not redstone. I'm not redstoner, but I have a better understanding. So, and that's what matters to me. All right, so let's take you. I have no inventory space. Alright. And we'll put you down at the end of this line. Configure you to sand. Which I think I just ended up taking some out of. Put the comparator back. Alright, and now this is 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. 16. Oh, that might not be long enough either. 16 decent. When it gets to 16 sand, it starts making more. We need sand for summer runes, for clay, for glass, for mana glass, elf glass. We need to keep a higher supply. Okay, so we need to move this a little further. I don't think I'll ever need to turn this one on and off automatically. No, I don't think I will. So maybe we can wrap. I don't want to interfere with this, but if we go... This will give us a bit more. We can go under there even. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, a stack. 2 stacks, 4 stacks. 4 stacks. That makes me happy. If you don't know, it's twice the amount of the previous signal is how many it tracks. So 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, whatever 4 stacks is. Alright, so now it shouldn't trigger anymore. So much sand. And we don't need glass. So, how did I have this design? Let's see here. I had the cracked making an X pattern through here. And then I had that. And then that. This one went there. The rest of this is all regular living rock. Alright, and then we've got the pavement. Yep. I think it's all reassembled, and that's all done now. I doubt I'll have enough room in here for everything. Here's our hopper hawk, which we're going to put there. And it's still only tied to that. And let's make sure that it only picks up sand. So there we go. Now, we could upgrade this. We don't need to. 32 stacks is pretty decent. Especially since once it falls below 4 stacks, it's going to make more. So it's going to always keep 4 stacks. So I'm fine with that. Everyone else fine with that? Pretty good. We lost our water again, and we're at 28 sponges. It didn't make another sponge. Does the coral reef pick up water blocks or something too? We had 28 sponges before this started, so something else has... I mean, because coral reef is a watery block. I just don't know if it absorbs water. Still confused. Anyway. Let's get our torch put back.